Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
That information is not available.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error.
You know what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.
Howdy do. You okay? Welcome to 10-minute project overview. Download, setup and driver install. Let me just check audio. Have I got any audio? Just checking. Howdy do. We have got some audio. Right, okay, this is going to be 10-minute, this one. Hopefully. I need a countdown timer, so we're already a bit late. So this is just a lot of people have wanted to. They're asking me. I can't watch all the episodes. I don't know what it's about. What is it? So let's do a 10-minute one. I thought let's just do a 10-minute one. We can show you how to get to the executable or the file, download it, and project overview quickly, and download, setup, and driver install roughly. There was a few problems I had with Windows 11 driver install. The driver is nothing to do with me, it's literally a Yaesu driver. No problem with Windows 10, but Windows 11 I had to coerce it into getting installed. Anyway, don't know whether you all have the same trouble, but it's worth giving it a go. So last time I tried it actually, the software on an FT-891, and it worked. Can you believe it? Yeah. So I've gone and written a bit of a sheet here, so I'll just read this out to you. I've done a bit of a sheet, so if I can find it. Where's it gone? There it is. Right, so here's a bit of a sheet. Can I make it bigger? I can't zoom in. Why can't I zoom in? I don't know how to work this thing. Anyway, I'll just read it out. Right, so welcome to the Half Greek Geek 10-minute FT-891S software front-end project overview. I first purchased my FT-710 2 years ago and wanted to take an HF rig with me on holiday to do some portable activation. I did not want to damage my FT-710, so I see various YouTube channels using FT-891, so I purchased a used one from eBay. It had some scratches on the middle, back at the top cover, and it was only I was buying it now at reduced cost, £449. So I bought it for 400, free delivery. So I bought it that was about April 2026. Got it a couple of days later. Always knew that the menu system was not up to today's modern SDR transceivers. I wanted to have a play with the cat control side of things, as I was new back to the hobby, and the digital side of things eluded me. Don't know what all the digital stuff is, so I missed out on it. So yeah, I purchased the FTM510D before that to use as a normal rig, with maybe some ability to use the repeaters, as many of my older rigs couldn't do the repeater stuff, didn't have the ability. So I purchased this rig with digital ability. Now that someday I would maybe get it into it, so I've still got to get into Wires X and all the rest of it. I decided to write the front end in C# Windows Presentation Foundation, WPF, as I had already done existing works on my main UPass project, already using serial UART and the USB, so I knew I could just write the code instead of having a long learning curve. Anyway, I started programming the FT-891 software front end on May the 4th this year, and spent so far, just for the live streams in the FT-891 software front end series, 219 hours. That's just for the live stream. And also more hours preparing graphics and other things that was not live streamed, so there's always a bit more. That equates to 9 full days of continuous live coding. So I decided to make the whole project open source under GPL3 license. so anyone wanting to see the code could do so. That way you can be sure that there is nothing malicious in the code, and other developers can contribute and fork the repo. The repo is on GitHub. It's a GitHub repository, and all the source codes are there, and there's now an executable you can download. It's just a beta version. So the beta version, it's not a finished version. There's lots of things need doing, but I wanted to get it out there because a lot of people they want to. It could go on for years and years, so I need to get it out there. So don't expect too much. But I wrote it for myself, and I've made it open source. I need it for myself, so because I couldn't find anything. But if I would have searched a bit harder, I might have found some stuff that would have done the trick. But anyway, I did create. I'm going off the script here, but I did create something years ago based on a FT-891S, and I programmed through the parallel port, and was able to fit scan on it, and I scanned the front panel in, created extra buttons. So I have done something similar in the past. Anyway, so to make so you can make your own version if you want to, or so if they was to do so. So effectively, the project can never die if it's open source, and there's people forking it. It'll never die. So I don't have to be here. And if someone wants to use the code or carry on a project, they can do. So someone could always carry on the project in the form of, yeah. So anyway, number 8, it has become necessary for a quick 10-minute overview and download. Hang on, how many minutes are we going? Yeah, we haven't got much minutes left now. So let's speed this up. So we're going to do an overview to install and set it up. The users can get an idea of what the project is. The project is free to use and always will be. If anyone uses it regular and would like to reward me for the work so far, it's tough, you can't. Just joking. You can buy me a coffee on Patreon whenever I get round to finish setting that up. So anyway, so we'll just get on with it now then. So that's basically telling you what we're going to do. So we're going to I'll show you where the zip file is and how to get it and download it, how to install it, how to set the COM port up, put your driver on, pinpoint to your driver, and show it working on an FT-891 and an FT-710. Who knew? Right, anyway, so that one's that. So back to this project. So there's your thumbnail. So we've done 66 episodes. This is not going to be 10 minutes, by the way. It's going to be more like 20 minutes. Sorry, it's just took me longer to get through to that start bit. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is I forgot. What am I going to do now? I've no idea. Oh yeah, here it is. Hang on, I wanted to show you this. Right, I wanted to show you. Where's it gone? Yeah, right. This is the first thumbnail. This is quite interesting. This is the first thumbnail, right? So USB host cat control. That's what we started with. That was the physical size of the radio. Okay, I'm gonna go. Let's hope you haven't got any snaps of me and me underpants. Let me just see. You're all right. So and then we got we put an extra couple of buttons on. Start frequency, end frequency. That was number 2. Number 3. Same kind of thing. Number 4, a few extra buttons. These are just trial buttons, and slowly putting bits into the system. And there's some meters. Yeah, so I keep going. Then I put the station scope, feature creep I called it then. So a bit of feature creep. We put station scope in. That's changed its guise as it's happened. So. And a bit more on that, more transport control, transmit, receive, CW LED, so sorting out this LED, changing the background colour, analog meter. Oh, we end up with a meter on it. Created a meter, me and Gemini, we created this meter under my instruction, but it's not the best meter, but it's made from scratch, so but we probably could find a better one. Maybe in a ham library or something, which I didn't know about at the time. So quick memory bank, so we're doing some more work with it. Yeah, And the station scope turned into a list which you could click on and add it to this quick memory bank list. Anyway, keep going. RF gain and rotary control, so I ended up having to split these up. Don't know how far I got then. And created the function menu just to look exactly like the FT-710 or maybe DX10. So we've got some stuff on here, and a few complaints at that point. Too small, I can't see it. So even though this is twice the size of this, it's grown. This has the whole rig. That's the actual size of the rig. Well, the software now. So it's twice the size. But anyway, so too small there again. Some more changes. Built-in Morse code. Maximize the display area. So we've put the full screen onto the display and started doing the split screen. Anyway, we better speed this up. It's going to take a bit longer. VFO. Done some work on VFO AB. Memory buttons. There's still loads of work to do. Random UI works. We're slowly getting the looks of the 710 coming out on it. And then something about a waterfall. And we got the 3D waterfall coming together from. And then you got your span, similar to FT-710 or DX10, and more works. Let me just flick right through it. It's a bit of a thumbnail for waterfall. Another thumbnail. Another one, and we got sprite going on. A lightweight cat integration. Ended up with some kind of a sprite going on here. Now you can't do a full SDR with this. It's not an SDR radio, so there's no way you can have a real waterfall. So you know, you can do it with other ways. You can have an SDR separate receiver dongle and somehow incorporate it, but as it stands, this is all about just the radio. So loads of works with the packet system. We struggled on that a bit initially. Had quite a few contributors adding to it, so I ended up rewriting it. Went with my own one in the end, but based off similar stuff. Me and Gemini, we sat for hours trying to create that. So it's got an SQLite database, log command. I haven't done much with it, but you can basically got the ability to log out. So if you want to do a log, you can do your log, and then you can import the file into QRZ. It's not implemented yet, but that's the idea. You can log it out straight into the software database, then import that data into QRZ if you want to. So more band scope works, more works, and some more knob works. We got the band working on it. AF gain, RF gain, VFO swap. There's various random stuff. I don't want to spend weeks and weeks working on the same thing, so I did a bit on each one just to keep it interesting. So I ended up getting the selector knob working, and then we get the AF gain, RF gain, and let's make the ultimate frequency display. I wasn't too happy with the font, and you couldn't click on it or do anything with it. It was just a display in the frequency. So bits and pieces. Now, someone said I was vibe coding by copy and pasting into AI and back again, which I have done. I admit it. Hold my hands up. Why not? It's a tool, AI tool. Like, probably thought I'd never done any programming. I've spent years and years programming my own stuff, but I've been to sleep since then. I forgot a lot of it. So yeah, sorting out the modes in a bacon oven. It's just the first sign of the heat. So we ended up with a bit of a grid going on here, similar to the FT-710. Some labels. Anyway, a lot of boring stuff. QRZ log. I tried to do QRZ log integration, and found out that to do it and connect to it automatically, you got to subscribe to it. Anything that requires me to pay out money, it's a no-no, because I'm involved in that many different things. I would literally now have no money left if I subscribe to everything. Having said that, I've recently subscribed to Station Master Pro, so just to let you know. Right, anyway, this is going to drag on a bit longer than I thought. log integration, full screen. I tried to put full screen onto it. A floating log integration, that's still there but taken out. Well, we're up to 53, so more of that. Wheel frequency digits, so the frequencies, if you notice, are not a font anymore, it's actual digits. So that's come a long way. I've integrated it onto the VFOB. Left mouse button click to use scroll wheel to change the digits. So you can hover over, use your scroll wheel, and it'll scroll up and down. I'll show you that when we run the program. This is me messing around with a 3D waterfall. Then we created the sprite. This is the sprite that it's supposed to represent a signal. So what I told Gemini, I said I want a weak signal to be washed out and very small, but a big signal to go full colour, not a fully opaque and large, so it sort of explodes, like, you know. Anyway, I've since had another idea, but we'll talk about that another day. Some UI tidy up, dragging around DNR and filters. We've got a couple of filters going on, DNR and noise reduction. Started off with that line. Equalizer livery, so slowly we ended up with this, where we could pull up the DNR and the noise blanket. Then we put width notch into it. Right, anyway, carry on. And that's still a work in progress, experimental. Contour and shift, yeah, contour into it. It's Friday Eve live stream. Nobody's around on a Friday evening, so don't do a live stream on a Friday. Then we added, in order to make it so anyone can use it, because I had my COM port hard coded, it's no good. So now you can select your COM port, but that's an older version of it. I ended up with this one. So the settings are very basic at the minute. All you need, you select your COM port and your call sign. So you put your call sign in. There is another button we've put on, developer mode. Oh, and we're back here. We're back on it. So that's it. So here we are. So let's crack on with this then. So we'll just close down, just minimize that. Oh, there's the actual thumbnail, so we'll just leave that one alone for a bit. Here's the software running in the background, so you can pick it up and drag it around. Now we've got developer mode on the top. COM port, you can't click on any of these. Radio ID, now this is a good one, because when it's in boot up mode, which it is now boot up mode here, boot up, so it'll give you a welcome to G7UIV's FT-891 software. This call sign is your call sign, whichever one you've put into it. And the idea is this will actually time out after a few seconds and take you to the main screen, which is this one here. Right, spectrum scope, and then you've got your station scope. Click your function, you got your filters, so you can bring your filters up and down, and your noise blanket, and you can set your fast as well, fast slow on this dial here. I've got to work on this a bit yet. So the idea is you set your width with that handle, and you can move your width around, and then you can set your notch. So that's your notch. We've got some more work to do on this. So this is your contour, which is supposed to be a U, which you push up and down. So we've got more work to do on this, but I stopped working on it just so we could get it out there, people could have a play on it, because it is slightly usable. None of these buttons are working at the minute, but you will have the ability to save and load your filter settings. So anyway, let's get some live. So if you go over the outer rim here and you use your scroll wheel, you can bring the RF gain up. Let me just switch an aerial over to this one. Alright, that's my switcher I just used that I built in another back series. So right, so you got your meter running, and you can apply your filter. That's surprisingly good if you're getting the right notch there. Noise blank doesn't really do a lot when you're in a home base. But anyway, and this at the minute does nothing, but the idea is to get that working. You can click on the volume and it'll mute it, double click it again and it'll unmute it. Scroll wheel, volume up and down. You can hold your left mouse button up, hold it in and then drag up and down to alter your volume. And the same with this one, drag or scroll wheel. So you can bring down your RF gain. We've still got to build in, when you're in FM mode it turns to squelch because that's a different cat command. Function menu, let me just mute that. So function menu, you click this function selector, multi-selector, it'll bring you up the standard layout for an FT-710. I've done something a bit weird with it. You can use a scroll, you can scroll, use a scroll wheel over this and it'll move it around, or you can just click wherever you want it, like that. And I've just built into this at the minute RF power, so if I use a scroll wheel I can set my RF power. That's not really how Yaesu does it, but I've done it like that for now. So if I raise that up and come out of there just by clicking it, you get your 20 watts and 45 watts. I also added recently the ability for the VFO to store the wattage as well. It's not quite finished off yet. Right. Anyway, so there's a lot to do. Oh yeah, right, so we'll come out of that. We'll go back over to... you just saw there, Morse code decode. It does work if you've got a nice clean signal. We need to put more work on it, so it's just a... I won't show you that, but I mean basically you just... At the minute you click this clarifier button. It's just a button we've used. It's just showing you arbitrary value of thing, and we can quickly go and have a look if there's anything. Let me just change bands. Let's go to... Let's turn up a bit. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to go down to the CW side of things. I never know how to tune this. Anyway, there is a live stream with it decoding. Of course, live demo. And I never know where to put it. Anyway, we'll leave that off there. Let's get out of there, it's driving me nuts. Yeah, so you can sort of go quickly, you can move this around, you can move in small bits. I found this digit is a waste of time because it doesn't move quick enough. Let's just get back to USB. You've got the ability as well, if you go on the radio and you select mode, it'll be by band. So if I go to 40 meters, see it's selected lower sideband there, only because I programmed it to. But you can override it if you go into there. I mean, I'm actually on upper sideband now and lower. It's either good or bad. I don't know if you need it. Anyway, it's just ability. It writes an extra cat command that actually changes the frequency, so you can override it. You can do it anyway. It convoluted in the menu. Right, so back to the main spectrum scope. So you've got, it's all more of an apparition. This is. Let's find somebody to listen to. So the easiest way to find someone is to go into the station scope. I'm just going to go back to, my aerial's only good for 20 meters really, so I'm just going to go back to this one. And I'll just, you've got a threshold level here. These buttons need sorting out a bit better. But if you all have a look at your needle on the mid channels, sort of there. Just have a look at there. I mean, it's set for 7, but if you want to set it higher or lower, I'll just leave it on 8. No, I'll tell you what, I'll leave it on 7. And I'll just click this scan button, see, scan 20 meters. This is all going to be changed, so take notice of that. Right, so it's going to go through, and what it's doing is it's going through the frequency and it's sampling the signal strength. That's all it's doing. It's adding to the list anything that's over the threshold, the TH threshold. So if I find too much coming through, like you've got 315 there, and maybe I want to concentrate on a strong one, so I'll just go up again and just go on that again, and it'll wipe out the list, and you'll see it's not going up so much. So it knocks it up whenever it sees a sample that's over the 8 signal strength, and it'll store it in this list. Now it doesn't know the difference between noise or voice or anything. It's not that clever. So what we'll do is we'll just once it's finished, you got 65, so click down, have a scout around just by clicking. Don't hear anything, try again. What you're looking for is, you can see over a few frequencies that they've got. Of course, we'll never get. Oh, you got someone there. If you find someone you can hear, just press this button at the minute. It'll put them in this list. Oh, Kaliningrad. Okay, fair play. And you can. It's stored there, so you can just have a scout around. Just have to click around. Sometimes it picks noise up. Anyway, and then you can go ahead and you can select another band, like, don't know if there's anyone on here, and you can just scan up to 40 meters. It'll clear this list and it'll go through again. And if you see it jumps, it means it's scanning something that's lower than the threshold. Right, so I've got anything here. This is a general idea. On my videos, normally at the start of a video and at the end, you can see some progress. The during bit is development work going on. Anyway, so if you can't get any more, you can also go back to that one. Let's just have a look on. Let's scan. Why not? Now this is, for me, it's always a lower signal strength. It's not very good. So you won't get nothing coming through. So you can stop it, lower the threshold if you want, and then try again. Yeah. If you see someone transmitting, there's normally you get 4 or 5 higher signals. So you can see like the wave picking up. So it's worth a quick go through it. Anyway, that's the idea. Normally you can pick someone up. Not today. Okay, so we just got the one. That's a shame, isn't it? So what we'll do another scan over here. That's a bit of a mistake. So this doesn't automatically sense the background. You could easily make it look at the ambient and then set the threshold automatic. Let's just get one other person. There's loads of work we can do on this bit as well. So I mean, so I just heard there's a couple there. I think we'll stop it there. Alright, let's see if there's anyone here. There's one. Anyway, so we've got these two. you can oscillate. There is a function here that will actually scan these two. It's not enabled at the minute, so you can put a button on so it'll just go through it, listen for a few seconds, go to another one. Anyway, so going back to the spectrum scope, I've got to find someone now. He seems to have gone. Yeah, they're not always there for long. Right, so this will just keep clicking this, it'll cycle you back to the main. You can change the span.
Thank you very much for the contact, and I'm happy you enjoy the forums. Yeah, if you have only a few days in a year when the weather is good,
if I change the span to less width, this becomes bigger proportionally.
And 73, still great signal into Germany. Mike 5, X-ray Tango Charlie, Delta 1, Hotel Victor 73. Have a great evening.
How's it going? Anyway, so you've got this bit of a... This will never replace the real SGRs, no chance, because the radio isn't capable. But I've got built in a sweep on it, so let's just do a sweep. Ready? It's a bit funky, this is. So what it's doing, it's actually just going back minus 5k plus 5k, or whatever the span is. So I change the span to 20k, it'll stop and just start it again. And it'll try and highlight where the data is, and it's also generating a sort of waterfall or history. Okay. The speed doesn't do anything at the minute, but you can stop and start it if you want. Now there is one thing you can do with it if you want to carry on building the background up while listening to someone's conversation. I can switch on the time slice. Switch the time slice on and then start it. And it obviously slows it down. You can still hear the conversation, but it's building the background up as well. Obviously it's chopping the voice, chopping the conversation up. It's slicing it. It's going away from the center frequency, or the start frequency, which is that, and it's going off, sampling it, coming back, listening, going off, sampling it, coming back, listening, and it'll just keep doing that indefinitely. It looks slow because you've got time slice. If I turn the time slice off, it'll go quicker. But that's just a bit of fun, really. It's just a bit of fun. It's just a bit of fun. Let's just mute that. You can either mute it from the RF or the audio, or both. Depends on what. If you want to still see a signal coming in. If you mute it from there, you're just going to get a block here at full strength. If you mute it from the audio, you can still be active and quieten it down. So you can change frequency on the VFO-B or sub, whichever you want to call it. You can change frequency there. Any of these, just by doing that. You have got the ability to do it off your keyboard, up arrow, down arrow, when it's highlighted. Any of these, up, down arrow. And if you're not highlighted, you do up, down arrow. It takes it up 1 kilocycle at a time. So I can effectively just keep my finger on it, up and down, and just, yeah, do that. It's a bit funky. A, B, swapping A and B, we've got work to do on that. These buttons are temporarily doing nothing, and there's some more work to do on it. So let's get on to the setup now then. Let's get on the setup. So I'll just close that down a second. And what we're going to do now is I'm just going to take you over to my GitHub. There you go. That's the wrong one. Let me just bring this up. Right, there is a link in the description for the GitHub actually. So here's the GitHub, and I'll tell you what it'll do. This is the main site with the source code, so you can actually view all the source code if you want. You can find out when last work was done on it, all this kind of stuff, how many forks it's got. So the software is actually under this release tag. There's not a package at the minute, it's just if you click the tag, go over to the tag, click it, it'll take you to this bit here, and it's the download section you want, so you click downloads. You can leave the source code for now. You want is this a zip. There's 21 people done it, so I've done it once, so there's 20 people already done it. So if I click this now, it's just obviously gonna download the file again. And if I open it, wherever it's going to turn up. Oops, what's this doing? That's not good, is it? What's it showing me that for? Trust old YouTube to not YouTube, whatever it was. Hang on. Right, I'm just trying to find. Here it is. Sorry, it's come on to a different screen. So this is the folder. And it's got application files and a setup. Obviously you're going to run the setup, but what I do is extract it first. If it's the best thing, just extract it, and it's going to come up with this, and you extract it wherever you want. I'm just going to put it into downloads or documents, wherever you want. Just select it, extract it. It doesn't take long, it's not too big. Replace the file, it's already there, so just replace it. Okay, right, so close that one now. It's there's a setup file. That was a bad place to put it really, but yeah. So you run the setup file, and it's going to come up with this. It's going to come up with this Windows because it doesn't understand the vendor. Unknown publisher. They always do that. Doesn't matter whose software it is, unless you're a big, massive corporation. Right, so run anyway. And it's literally cannot start the front end of this location because it is already installed from a different location. So, because I've already installed it, so we'll leave that, forget that, okay. So basically it'll install and it'll run the application. Now the driver you need, let's find you the driver. So all you do is type in FT-891 Windows driver from Yaesu. Right, so it should bring you. Yeah, so if you go onto this one here, it's going to get you. If you've seen the Yaesu site, just scroll down. Get to files, and you want a Windows 10 or 11 driver. Sorry, it only works on Windows at the minute, this one. So you download your driver, and you'll have to set it up. Windows 10 was pretty easy for me. Windows 11 not so easy. It kept saying it's not the correct driver or something like that, or didn't want to do it. So there are ways you can do it. So I'll quickly show you that, but it's nothing to do with what we're doing, but I'll just quickly show you how I did it. So how I did it was I go into ports. You'll see these COM ports, the enhanced and the standard one. So all you do is you go over to properties. No, you don't. Sorry. You go update the driver, and you have to browse it. Don't bother searching it; I might not find it. So you browse my computer. Now I've already browsed it, and it's pointing to this one here. Now that didn't. It worked on Windows 10, Windows 11. It said something you didn't want to know. So, but you can do it. You have to just Google it and find out. But you have to persevere, and it will go. Have I just wrecked my driver? No. Okay. Right, anyway, so that's the driver. You'll have to get help on the driver. There's nothing to do with the software. You just need the driver for the USB and your radio. Even if you plugged it in. If you plugged your radio in with USB and didn't run any software, just plug it in with Windows. You'll still have to get the driver. So anyway, there's that. Right, so back onto the program. So I've got two radios on at the minute. It's in boot up mode. If it connects to the COM port successful and it manages to talk to the radio, so far it'll do an FT-891, and the one on the GitHub won't do the 710. It does do the 710, but it'll come up question mark, where I've made mine come up with the right one. Now at the minute, this only supports, only supports one COM port. So if we go into, I haven't showed you that, have I? Click down here for settings, and it'll quickly show you COM ports. I've got 2 lots of COM ports, 2 lots of enhanced and normal for both 710 and FT-891. Now if I power off my FT-710 a minute and just click refresh the ports, I do probably have to wait for it to disconnect. It hasn't. So it's still there at the minute. So I did that the other day and I heard the... Oh, it's just done it now. It's just done it too slow. Hang on, let's try it again. I'll switch it off again. Right, so you heard that it got rid of them. So if I do refresh the ports, they're still all there. Dear me. Have I got to wait again? Yeah, anyway, you should lose the ports. Well, it's not working. It's working, but it's not there. Hang on, let's just make sure it is working. So I'll go back to Device Manager, have a quick look. So right, let's have a look. So we've got Device Manager, got our ports. So they're still all there, even though I've turned the radio off. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I will unplug. See the radio, even though you powered the radio off, the COM port is still connected, but it is showing something fell out of it. When I powered it on, you heard it go bleep. So what I'll do is I'll take out the... Right, I'm going to unplug the FT-710. No, that's actually the 891, so I do a refresh. Yeah, you've lost the ports now. So I've only got the FT-710 plugged in at the minute. So I'll plug that one back in. I could get to automatic refresh, but I don't want to take any resources away from the normal scanning and stuff. So there it is again. So at the minute I'm on COM8, which is that one. That's your enhanced port. And it's connected, and when it booted up, when you run the program, let's run it again, it will send a cat command and retrieve the ID from the radio. So that's why you've got FT-710. Sorry, 891. Anyway, so we'll leave that one running. I'm going to now open another instance of it just by right-clicking on the taskbar and choosing the same program again. Now, because it's only really been set up so far to work with one COM port, it's still trying to connect to COM8. But if I leave that running and I just go into here and I connect to, I think it's COM10, and save, or just, yeah, if I save that, there's a bit of a thing saying you'll have to restart for changes to take effect. So I'll restart that one, but I'm going to leave this one running. I'm going to do the same again, right click and then click on the icon that runs it. Now you can see this one is actually FT-710. Now effectively you could have a new skin that's an FT-710, but I don't. The whole idea of this project was to bring forward the 891 up to the present day somewhat, as best with the menu system at least. So there's no real advantage, I can't think yet, of controlling your FT-710, but all the same cat commands work. Let me just bring them down a minute. I'm on VFOA. I've got no aerial plugged into that at the minute, so I'm going to swap my antenna over to it. So this one will drop off, this one will come up. I've got no volume. Have I turned it right down? Yeah, I've just turned it right down there. So possibly this AF control is... No, it's about right. So we've got the 710 on the go. So it doesn't look like a 710, but you know, It's just one of those. It's just a fact that what you can do with it, and all your power works as well. Put down to 5 watts, so it does actually work. You can bring up, because I've mimicked the 710's functions and mode and speed. All that works as well. So you've got it, and you can still do the. So the commands are compatible basically. It's crazy. Anyway, that's just for fun, a bit of bonus. Alright, so we'll shut that one down now, and we'll go back to the other one. Now, because I've been in this one, in the FT-891, I've been in here. I've changed the other one's COM port. If I was to close that now it does save the settings upon exit, so maybe it'll just come back with it saying, yeah, it has. Every time you open it, it loads the settings. Every time you close it, it saves the settings. So you can sort of run two. But if I try to launch another one now, it's a bit convoluted this. If I run another one, it's just going to come up question mark because it's still trying to connect to COM8. So you'd have to go then to and choose COM10 and save. Close it and open it again, and then we've got the 710. So you can work with two, but at the minute we'll change it so you can toggle it. So you might even be able to click this button here and make it try and connect to your 710. So you've got two lots of COM ports. But anyway, this is by the by. The 710's comprehensive radio. You don't really need it, but you never know what might happen in the future. You never know whether this is some kind of remote control, and you run this on a computer and you go around the place. I've thought about making a hardware, some knobs that connects to another USB port, and then this software connects it to the system. So you're sending the cat commands via some real knobs, hardware. Sliders, knobs, so effectively you can alter all your gain here, all this stuff with your knobs proper instead of coming into the software. Anyway, so that's basically it at the minute. Let me make sure. So that's it. Let's not keep it too long. Oh, I missed that bit as well. I forgot to tell you. One little crucial thing. The software, if you click it quickly, it'll shut off. I'll just run it again. The radio's turned off now because I held it. But if I hold the left mouse button down, it actually switches the radio on. So if you get a long press on this switch, it switches the radio on, and another long press, it switches it off. It switched it off. So it's got like a double function. A quick press just closes it, so you don't have to do it when you launch it. It just runs. And if I want to power the radio on now, I can do a long press. It won't close the software. It just powers the radio on. You saw a blimp come up then. So you can actually sort of switch your radio on and off. So because the USB port is always connected at the back of the radio, it's always active. It's getting its power from the computer. You can switch your radio on and off. As long as you've got your power supply switched on already, you can power on and off your radio. Anyway, that's something else we mentioned. So unfortunately this 10 minute has turned into 50 minutes. I think that's going to be about it. So as going forward, what's going to happen, we've got a few people interested in helping out with the development, and they can either fork it or whatever, fork the repo, and so there might be a few versions of this on, because it's open source, anyone can fork it. And you might think you put a lot of hours into it, why do you want people to fork it? Well, hopefully they'll do something better you know, I haven't got all the time in the world. I've got other projects. So if they can do any better, which they probably will do, they'll have more time. Ideally, we'll have quite a few software developers on this, and they'll be working on different areas, you know. They can put a bit more time. I'm trying to bring the... It's a bit like when you used to buy a PC years ago. You could buy a bare bones PC, what they call it. It's just the basics, and you add your stuff after. So this is a shell for it, and you can, you know, hopefully... I mean, I built this to use it myself, so then I shared it so anyone else can use it. So I'm only building it to share myself. Nobody's getting charged anything. There's no charge for anything, and you can use it as freely as you want. I've made a few YouTube videos out of it. Fair enough. You know, it's got some subscribers. That's my payment anyway. But like I say, if anyone does want to send a just having to play there. Did I show you that? You can use the scroll wheel to change the frequency as well. Don't know if I showed you that. So if anyone does want to reward me whatever way, or if they find it useful and they use it on a regular basis, they think, well, I really should just buy me a coffee on Patreon is enough. That's it. Or don't bother. I don't care either way. Anyway, there's still more work to do on it. It's like anything. If you got if people show interest in it, it sort of feeds. It's like a self-fulfilling feedback. It makes me want to spend a bit more time on it. If I do something that doesn't get many views or not much interest, I tend to tail off quickly. So this project can go as far as it needs to, or it just die where it is now. I don't know, but I built it so I could use it myself, and that's it. So a bonus to share it out. Anyone can use it. So there you go. It's got full of holes at the minute. It's full of unfinished codes, unfinished sections. So I'd like to work on little bits on it to get it finished and functional. But I thought I'd get it out there anyway with the release. So you expect lots of updates. So I check once a week to see if there's any update on that link. And I forgot to mention the user group. Let me just mention the user group. I've set up a user group for this. Let me just find that user group. Right, I'll set up a user group just to any comments. So in there you'll see that. Let me just bring it up. Right, here's the user group. Let's just close that down. So it's FT-891S. Now, if you're wondering what the S is, it's play on words software. It's the software for the FT-891, one of the software. Just by me, David, G7UIV, aka Half Greek Geek, and it's got a few members already, 19 members. And in there, I'll just put anything in there that I pick up or any updates. So, and then you can go straight back to that link in the description. You almost find the link to the repository or the files, so you can have a down, see if there's a new one. But you might have to uninstall it first. Well, anyway, so that's that one there. Okay, so anyway, I don't know what else there is to say. How long have we been going? 54 minutes, 10 minutes times, I don't know. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope that helped you get set up if you want to give it a try. If you want to help develop it, just leave a comment. And I've got a few who are interested in helping develop it. I've got other projects to work on, so I can't work on it as much as I have been doing. But I will do bits on it anyway. Let's hope we get more people forking it, doing it, pushing some changes back and whatever, and maybe we can end up with something, reinvigorate our old FT-891s. Well, they're not that old, are they? But still a great little radio. Alright, that's me done. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Sorry it wasn't 10 minutes. Bye bye.
that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
That information is not available.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error.
You know what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.